Wamaxoka afuna ukungibulala. Abo ngcinela ingane zami. Wekoko nzofa nje. Abo ngcinela ingane zami. Wemaxoka afuna ukungibulala. Abo ngcinela ingane zami. Wekoko nzofa nje. Abo ngcinela ingane zami. Wamaxoka afuna ukungibulala. Oh, ngcinela ingane zami. Wekoko nzofa nje. Abo ngcinela ingane zami. Thokozani, Thokozani Royals, Thokozeni, Hotep, Ninjani. Please tap the screen, family. Tap, tap, tap the screen. So I know that you can hear me. Please tap the screen. Thank you, Zay. Thank you. Tap the screen, family. Yebo. Ow. There we go. Wamaxoka afuna ukungibulala. Oh, ngcinela ingane zami. Wekoko ngiyofa nje. Abo ngcinela ingane zami. Amaxoka afuna ukungibulala. We ngcinela ingane zami. Wekoko ngiyofa nje. Abo ngcinela. Ay, suka. Hey, suka. Hello everybody, Thokozeni family, ninjani, Thokozani, Chamagwini, Thobela, Muribwanji, Dumelang, Thobela, Ndaweshewe, Nangadef, Ninjani, Kedu to all my Igbo family. How's everyone doing tonight? I am here tonight because I think we need a conversation. This conversation is literally me just coming to share some occurrences, some insights, and also to encourage the Black nation as usual. I am going to have to keep reminding us to stay tapped in, to stay connected to ourselves, to stay connected to our power. You know what had me thinking I need to talk to some people today is there is a quotation that I saw, and this quotation really summed up so much. And the quotation states, "Those who rule the world fear those who carry divine wisdom." Those who rule the world fear those who carry divine wisdom. And the reason I thought I'd come so we can have a conversation is because I need for you all to understand who the carriers of divine wisdom are. Because once you identify who the carriers of divine wisdom are, then you will have an understanding that you are feared. What kind of nonsense is that? Imagine grown folk, African folk, the first agriculturalists saying, who's going to feed us? Aibo, Aibo. That's like insanity. But those who are tuned into this energy and divine wisdom, and those of us who come in circle together, we were like, Spirit did that really quickly. Because we thought land back might mean, the spears and the bows and the arrows are going to come out and we're going to have to go marching and literally remove people. No. And it's interesting because 3 years ago, a message came through, and the message was, when all is said and done, things will happen and be restored in a way that will shock you and in a way that is so easy. It will be as if none of this chaos ever happened. And so I'm watching this and I'm like, wait a minute. They have an offer to move? And mind you, I'll tell you something. When you get refugee status over here in the States, you get a stipend, you get a place to stay, you get free medicals. Like everything of yours is taken care of. You're literally just being invited to come. And I'm like, so we don't need to get blood on our hands, reptilian blood on our hands. We don't. Just like that. So that's why I wanted you guys to understand that some of the decisions that are being made, look at them from a spiritual perspective. Don't look at these decisions from a perspective of, politics, because that whole thing is nonsense. It's already done for. All these are desperate measures to keep something in place that is now obsolete. It is totally useless in the age we're in. The same way religion is going to be, it's now totally useless. And why do I say that? I've had a couple of very interesting consultations. One of the consultations I had was with a queen who grew up Catholic, much as myself, and she's in Divinity school. And she just had this urge to isolate. Now, for those who follow me, you know that when Great Mother wants to work on you, you will have this great urge to be by yourself. And people will just fall away naturally. You don't got to tell people to leave you alone. They just do. She literally moved from her home state to another place where she is all by herself in a house, I think, or apartment all by herself. In her mind, she thought the desire to isolate was so she could focus on her Bible studies for Divinity school. So when she came, the first thing she says to me is, I don't even know why I'm here. I laughed. I'm like, you don't? Because I said, what brings you to me? It's like, I don't know. I'm here, but I don't know. So she tells the story, and I looked deep in her eyes and I said, you're being initiated. Great Mother is doing her work. And yes, you're going to be a minister, just not in the way that you think. Because now she's going through a huge moment of cognitive dissonance, where suddenly everything you've ever believed to be true, everything that forms the basis and the fabric of your entire existence as a human on this planet, is a lie. And because I've been through that journey, because I understand what that feels like and the anger, because that's what she said. She said, sometimes I feel so angry. Like, how could I have been so fooled? And I'm like, forgive yourself, because you didn't know. Forgive yourself. That's the first thing. You didn't know. But understand this. Once you know, you cannot unknow. What's interesting, she said she followed me for a while, and she could hear the things I was saying. You know, she's still Catholic and doing her divinity school. And then something happened to her one day and she thought, you know, I'm not listening to this woman anymore. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm shutting it down. She says she shut me down. She blocked me on all social media. Block the Instagram, block the Facebook, block the TikTok, block. Then she said, not long after that, she came across a pastor who was saying the same things I was saying from the pulpit to his congregation and telling them we have been lied to. Everything that we thought to be the truth is not the truth. So she said she couldn't believe it because here she thought she's listening to a pastor. We're going to talk a Christian good and we're going to talk about the lamb, white lamb. And suddenly this guy is like, actually, no, we've been lied to. Hey, none of this is true. It's all nonsense. So she ended up unblocking me, unblock the Instagram, unblock the Facebook, unblock. And here we were now face to face in a consultation. And I looked at her and I said, do you see though what's happening with you? And she said, it's a lot I need to process. I said, that's why you're in isolation. You've got a lot to process. And I have nothing to say or nothing to add. You are going through a process, and Great Mother is going to take you through the process all by herself. She took you out there all by herself. I have nothing to add. I have nothing to say. All I can say to you is watch your dreamscape. Watch the things that are going to come to you through the dreamscape. Because if she's taking you through this process of unlearning and vomiting out the toxins, you will be aware of what you need to do through your dreams and through occurrences and things that come to you. So I said, you are called into a ministry. It's just not the sort of ministry you think you're being called into. So I'm sharing this particular story, and I know she won't mind me sharing because it's such a profound story. But it's a story to show you that this prevailing energy, this divine feminine energy that is literally sweeping across the entire cosmos, is going to be doing things that are unimaginable. It's going to be dealing with us on an individual and collective level in ways that we cannot even imagine. The key for us is stay tapped in to that divine wisdom. Stay connected to that divine wisdom. Don't allow yourself to be distracted by planes falling out of the sky, by ice vans all over the place, loading people into vans and trying. Don't be distracted by all that. Those things that are happening are meant to be happening. Trust the divine process. Bagwantu. Trust the divine process. I'm here speaking to you because I have been prepared for this time so that I can assist you guys to stay the course. There's nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing to fear. And some people somebody just said, I've genuinely been unbothered by these events. Can't explain why. Good. Stay tapped in. Stay right there where you are. Live from the heart space. Stay in that beautiful state of gratitude. Every single morning you wake up, smile and say, I'm here. What a time to be alive. This is a cause for celebration for Bagwantu. Because what is happening, is the beginning of the ushering into the new golden age. The golden age meaning where everything that was damaged and ruined through colonization, slavery, the pillaging and plundering of the entire planet, we are going to be taken back to origins, back to the beginning. And that's all we need to concern ourselves with. That is literally all we need to concern ourselves with, is to stay aligned, stay in 5D, stay high vibration. I've been talking about being in that 5D state. That is where gratitude and love, that heart space, that is where you need to stay. Not anger, not frustration, not fear, not anxiety, because that takes you to the level of those who carry fear within themselves. You carry divine wisdom. You have absolutely no reason to be low vibrational. So anything that has been going on in your life that brings you low vibrations, anything, including your petty BS. Right now, if you look at the state of the world, which is where your vision has to be, we're in the season of Heru. Heru the falcon flying high and having that overall global vision. That should assist you in staying out of petty village politics. What is petty village politics, you ask? That is the politics of you bickering with your family and your friends and workspace drama. And listen, this is not the time for that. Remember that Heru's battle with Set was a battle of light and dark, was a battle between good and evil. And in order for Heru to win, Heru had to rise above. Heru had to always be circumspect. Have that bird's eye perspective. If you narrow your vision down to your own individual minutiae and your own individual, when you have that world view, it will give you perspective on your nonsense that you keep going on and on about. It will give you so much perspective that people you couldn't forgive, now you can forgive and let go, because you realize that, you know what, from this bird's eye perspective, this huge perspective that I have as Heru up there in the clouds, this thing is tiny, Mos. This is not even a problem. And then you look around you and you're like, the world is burning. That's where your concern should be. So in this season of Heru, Heru came in with a bang, guys. Heru came in on the 23rd of January. And what's his name was inaugurated on the 20th. Just look at what has happened since Heru came in. And we are constantly being asked to rise above all of this mess. Heru was never fearful. But Heru knew how to handle Set the Destroyer. Heru used this. Heru didn't react. Heru didn't throw a tantrum. Because when you are not focused and when you're not circumspect, you'll make mistakes. And Heru wasn't about to make some fatal mistake, because he knew that if he made a mistake, if Set got him on the ground, that would be over. So what does he do? He flies high. Heru's vision. That is where you should be in your meditation every morning. Whenever it is you do your meditation, see yourself as this huge falcon way above all this that is going on. Tap into divine wisdom to help you understand that all of this mess is a great cleansing that needs to happen as we usher in this new age. And get ready to play your part. You cannot be ready to play your part if you're caught up in petty BS. You cannot be ready to play your part if you're still scratching on the ground trying to figure out, my sister did this. I haven't talked to my mother for 5 years. Now is the time to stop that nonsense. sit back, ask and tap into that divine wisdom. How do I deal with this? Guys, none of us is promised tomorrow. There may be casualties in all of this that's going on. We know this. Time of war, there will always be casualties. And we don't know who that is going to be. And it doesn't really matter, because one thing we know is that we do not die. We simply transform and renew ourselves. So I may transition and this avatar goes, but I'm telling you, I'll be back. I'll be back. Because I get to decide if I want to come back. I will be back because I want to see this whole thing through. So while maybe you'll say, oh my God, Gogo has passed on and there's a funeral and all that. By that time, I'm already planning my return. So while you're busy going, I'm looking at you all, I'm like, these people. I'll be planning to come back. You may ask, why am I so sure of this? Because it's not my first time here. Been back. And been back before. Which is why I understand exactly why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing. Tap into your inner wisdom. Because even your past lives are written within you. Your Akashic records are written within you. Tap in and find out what your role was, when and how. And whether you are back to complete or to continue along that role you were in. This is the time, family. When they said our spiritual powers were all coming back, this is where it's at. It's all coming back. Are you tapped in though? It's no time to play now. There's no time to play. Everybody needs to be tapped in so you find out what your role is. So you can play your part. Because every single person's part matters for the collective. We are being forced to unite. I said it several years ago and I said it last year when I said, we are going to unite as melanated beings whether we like it or not. So anytime you come across somebody trying to sow seeds of dissension, someone telling you, oh, we want nothing to do with the Africans, another one telling you, South Africans are horrible, we Nigerians don't want anything. Miss that mess. Go past it, don't entertain it, because remember, Heru's vision. Don't get caught up in the minutiae of nonsense. Have the bigger vision, the end goal, where this is all going, and then place yourself and your role in that journey towards the end goal. This is where it's at. I listen to so many people on the internet right now, like, the white people are going crazy. The Latinos are going crazy, or Hispanics are going crazy. Those ones from Palestine are going crazy. Well, not the ones there, but the ones who are here. Because their big complaint is, why are black people not joining us in protesting? My thing is, we warned you. We warned you. And we said, please, let's not do this. One thing about the Black nation and what they've always done, they've never voted just for their own interest. They've always voted for the interests of everybody. They have always cared about what happens to everybody. They have always fought for what is right. Without regard for, are we dealing with Palestine? Are we dealing with they've never dealt just that way. Obviously, because of the problems we have with discrimination, a lot of the times we've had to also fight for ourselves. And most times we've had to fight alone. But when it came to deciding which way to turn in terms of preserving, it has never been about us preserving ourselves. It has always been about us doing the right thing for all of us. Unfortunately for us, we have no friends. And now that we have decided to pull our energy, spiritual, physical, economic, emotional energy back to ourselves, people are suddenly realizing that there is a huge something missing. The huge catalyst that used to make things happen and happen quickly, the huge catalyst that would put their bodies on the front line, i.e. Black women, they're not there. And suddenly everybody's like, Mommy, where are you? That time is gone. Because in order for things to become right, and like I said, this energy has not come to go halfway, guys. This energy, she's here to go all the way. That's why I said there's going to be total destruction. And what we are now being told is pull back, because the more energy you give this thing, you prolong its sustenance. We are not supposed to be sustaining this with our energy anymore. We're supposed to be letting it suffocate. That is what is supposed to be happening. And most, especially Black women, got that memo. They got it. They really got that memo. So what they did do is they did pull back. And they stayed pulled back. And look what's happening. What is happening is supposed to be happening. It's not our fault. We just pulling back in obedience to what we should be doing. And also because we have to self-preserve. For the first time, I think, ever in the history of our being here, we decided to self-preserve, which is the right thing to do, because ain't nobody coming to save us, ain't nobody caring about us. Everybody else is doing things in their own interests. Every other group is looking out for themselves. And the one thing that we have is, because we carry divine wisdom, we are custodians of divine wisdom. That is why our ancestors went all over the entire globe. Doing what? Educating, enlightening, building solid structures that still stand today across the entire globe. What were these structures for? Energy harvesting or harnessing, electricity, all those pyramids. What do you think they're there for? And every single one of those places aligned beautifully with the Orion belt. Why? Because we had that cosmic divine wisdom. We were the custodians of it. That's why to this day, nobody can construct the pyramids. They have no idea how it was done. They have no idea what equipment or machinery was used. Because that ancient knowledge went with our ancestors. Because having that ancient knowledge in the wrong hands, can you imagine? Already look at the destruction they can cause with the tiny little bit that they've been able to steal. Can you imagine if they had the full canon and could access the full canon? Perhaps what also saves us is because they are not divinely ordained to carry such wisdom, they couldn't tap into it even if they tried. We need to know who we are, understand who we are. We are the custodians, the carriers of divine wisdom. This is not about bigging ourselves up or making ourselves feel some type of way. I'm just telling you the truth. And in order to understand that truth, you have to reckon with the fact that why have we been treated so poorly for centuries? Of all the other groupings on this planet, who has been treated the worst? Why? Because those who fear. Why have we been treated like this? Because those who rule the world fear the carriers of divine wisdom. Who are those? History will tell you. Nobody else gets treated as badly as we do. Because nobody else is as feared as we are. And the greatest fear, the big existential fear that is in the Neeless ones is that we would do to them what they have done to us. That is their biggest fear. That is why when it comes to us, even on the street, everything is a knee-jerk reaction, trigger happy. They see a group of young black men. There's an existential fear that comes because of that memory, that DNA memory of the things that they and their forefathers have done. They look at this group, they're just two of you, and they're like pulling out the pew-pew because fear. So now imagine imagine the level of fear they have now, seeing what is happening and understanding, because they've known a lot of this. They just hadn't reckoned that a time would come where we would wake up. This mass awakening has them quaking in their boots. They're thinking of all kinds of exit strategies from this planet. They're thinking of all kinds of diseases and things to throw at us. They've been doing it for centuries. And again, it makes them fearful that we've been trying to annihilate these ones, but they don't go. What the fuck? It's nothing new. We know that eugenics was very big in trying to get rid of us. But look, we're still here. And that too scares them. What kind of creatures are these that we can't exterminate? Huh? And now I can tell you this for nothing. All these viruses and crap that they're trying to create and throw out, it started with that one of the 2020. Did you see what happened? It was supposed to annihilate Africa and Brazil, the two continents with the largest melanated populations. Was supposed to. What did it end up doing? It annihilated who? What happened in Italy? Like Europe was a mass grave. Then what happened here? Why? And that is now, it was as though that was the signal for so many of us that, the energies have shifted. Let me tell you something. A lot of the viruses and things that they were creating in the 50s and saving them so that every now and then they throw them so that they could, try to control population. Because they were created during a different energy. I'm going to teach you some spiritual science, right? These things were created during the age of destruction. So of course they're going to be potent in destroying. They've kept them in their labs or wherever they have. Now we are in this age of truth, justice, harmony, balance, ethics, and morality. Those things have been rendered useless. So they can take everything that they have, the whole SARS gang, SARS, which is like a whole group of viruses under which Covivi comes. They can take all that and they can throw it at us. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Mark my words. They've been trying already. Remember monkeypox? Where did that end? Oh, monkeypox. And then Africa, monkeypox. Where did it end? Where's monkeypox? It's game over. It's game over. Everything that they created during the age of destruction, the age of Pisces, the age of Set, is not going to work during the age of Ma'at. And by you staying high vibrational, you staying connected to divine wisdom, and you constantly staying in that heart space and in gratitude, meaning that you are now in 5D. See, people think 5D is a place. 5D is not a place. 5D is a state of being. 5D is a state of being. where you are in your heart space and you are in gratitude and you are flying high above this frame. See, when you vibrate high, you exit this 3D matrix and then you get to sit and go, oh, really? Ouch. Yeah. And it doesn't touch you. And you and yours, Black Nation, are well protected. Sit your kids down. Tell them how to move with wisdom. Our kids, many of them are grown. In ancient Africa, there's something I want to teach you. We never kept reality from our children. The way people here will say, oh no, we can't tell kids this, it'll traumatize them. Oh no, this is not that time. If you want your kids safe, if you want your kids safe and to see it into the next, then you got to sit your kids down and tell them what time it is. Our kids have no business running around in the streets right now. Too many vampires out there. Too many low vibrational creatures and reptilians looking for louche energy. Our kids have no business going into huge arenas to concerts right now. Seems innocuous to you, but a lot of these arenas are nothing but energy harvesting spaces. I want to tell you something else. I was shown something. I'm going to share it with you so you understand, because I know that in this northern hemisphere, I know spring and summer are coming, and after everybody's been like closed up indoors, everybody goes crazy and they want to go to amusement parks and all this. Can I tell you something about amusement parks? Amusement parks are nothing but energy harvesting centers. They are created on a space where the energy and what energy is being harvested. Why do you think there's so many scary rides? Guys, have you ever tried to understand why the Neeless creatures like things that scare you? Things that have your adrenaline pumping to the point where you think you're going to have a heart attack. Where you get thrown off, you're on this ride, which throws you down and then suddenly puts you back up again. And while you're there in suspense and then it throws you down. Have you ever tried to ask yourself why those things were created? Where is the fun in that? Because I don't enjoy those things, and my kids don't either. And I know a lot of people who are like, why? Well, louche energy, that low vibrational frequency energy of fear, anxiety, worry, they feed off of that energy. You need to be having these conversations with your children about the truth. Tell them what goes on in these spaces. And in all of this chaos of vans picking up people and so on, there's also human trafficking. And we are premium product. Black Nation, we are premium product. For reasons many of you already know, we've spoken about the melanin, we are high grade sacrifice. I'm going to tell you like it is so that you can prepare your kids. If you can't have these conversations, this is going to go up on YouTube. Get the YouTube link, sit down with them and watch this. And you can tell the Mukulu is serious about what's about to happen. And we don't have to be caught up in any of it, but we will if we don't access our divine wisdom. This is now the time to really understand our divinity and our place in the world. Because the call now is take up your place in the world. We will rebuild, but we will get the call to rebuild. Right now, we're not rebuilding anything because the great cleansing is going on. Right now, we are being told to fall back. And when you fall back, it's not just you're falling back. It's your energy, your spiritual currency, your physical currency, your economic currency, your everything currency, your intellectual currency fall back. We work amongst ourselves with ourselves. We're supporting one another. Black businesses, we're supporting. Where I can get something from a sister, that's where I go. I'm not going to no BS Target. I'm not going to no BS Walmart. I'm not going to no BS JC Penney, etc., etc. I would rather, if it's not urgent, I would rather not have than to give anything to that system. That's what we're being called to do. We are being called to come together and find ways. What has my sister got that I need? What do I have that my sister needs? Let's see how we can make this work. Circulate all your currencies within our family, within the Black nation. That's all there is to it. And the rest, that's, hey, like I said, Great Mother is taking care of that. It's none of our business. We're not getting involved in that. So do not fall trap to having all this, and this yo-yoing of emotion. 1 minute you get told, oh, what is that creature called? The musket, that one, the X one, has now accessed this and has now accessed this. And then your emotions go like this, and then you go down. Why are you getting caught up in things that don't concern us? Because ultimately, how has that system ever really helped us? Let's be real. None of this stuff was created for us, family. That we benefited from it was them begrudgingly, and you're supposed to be grateful that somehow you benefited from a system that's poisoning you. Why would you care whether it's falling apart, whether Elon the Musket went in there and is siphoning everything? Why? Why would you care? You have a roof over your head. You have food on the table. Be grateful for that. Don't concern yourself with things that ultimately have nothing to do with us and ultimately have to go. It's going to be a clean sweep. Like I said, the prophecy given a couple of years ago was, we're going to go back to the beginning. It will be as if none of this ever happened. And I truly, truly see that happening because, wow. So we're good, family. I guess that's what I came here for. I really didn't even know why I'm here, but I guess I came to encourage and to let you know that we're good. We really are. Stay tapped in to divine wisdom. You are a custodian of divine wisdom. That wisdom is not outside of you, it's within you. Stay tapped in. Now more than ever, it's time to stay tapped in. All right. On that note, see you on the next one. I don't know what I'll bring. I don't know what I'll be sent to tell you guys. But for now, I love you, Bagwanto. I love you, Black Nation. And yes, freedom is coming. Not tomorrow. Freedom is already here. We just have to grasp it. We just have to manifest it in this realm. But it's already here. All that needs to be done in the spirit realm, it's already been done. We're just seeing it manifest here now. So be you of courage and great joy and deep gratitude. That's it. Let's talk again.